Hey folks, I'm beginning my practice of speaking on what's going on. Having resistance to this process since it does take some effort to upload things, and it still comparatively seems like a stand-in for having a therapist when I can't afford one right now, even though it's felt really important for months, years actually. And I don't know, I haven't had good experience with insurance-based ones, but maybe I should go that direction. So this is my stand-in. And, if you can afford it, and you feel like it's important, I would encourage you to explore that possibility. Friends are really helpful. Sometimes they do more than a therapist could because they have more time. They have more time to work with you to understand the situation. But they might not have the professional expertise and the years of experience and guidance, and they might not have the focus or the level of professional attention that you personally need to grow. Friends aren't, sometimes they're there to have a good time. Sometimes they're not thinking about your highest and best self. Certainly there is an element of that, but they may not be that. So it's up to you to create friendships. Again, divine friendships, spiritual love has that all-encompassing caring quality. And every person, even therapists or friends, have their ups and their downs, that hidden darkness. And so we have to be careful about projecting, and we have to be discerning on the good things, the virtues of somebody, and their shortcomings. And we can start to pick up on that in the field and be like, okay, what do I want to take with me, and what is not good for me? What do I not want to take with me when I leave the door? Obviously, if you're in a friend group or social groups, there might be that love there, but there may be an aspect of it which you don't like. Like in high school, all my friends and I smoked pot. There were many times where I thought, gee, this isn't good. I would love to stop. But that didn't really happen until I got to college, where I loved what I was studying. I was invested enough that I could hold off until the weekend. And I was even disciplined enough that I knew, even while I had some colleagues and fraternity brothers who were just discovering, pot or other things, and forgoing, the tossing away some of their academic potential. I figured that out already. That doesn't make happiness. And there's a place for moderation, or other methods to get to a place of happiness. So that's where we'll leave that. And I it's really supposed to be about me. I'm clearly in my practitioner mode. Um, I don't know what to say. It feels like I'm not in a place where it's about me. I've nourished me, and I want to serve people. That's just where my mind is at. So for me, yesterday, as expected, I did not do my, I did do a shorter abbreviated practice, moments of being totally in my body. But I didn't, I didn't do my 2 hours. I didn't close the night with the 2 hours of practice. I have so much resistance to doing that. It's like you want to go to sleep when really you should open up. And as I speak, it's like really that should be the foundation of every day, not the thing that I put off to the very end of the day. It's like, how are you going to be your best self if your body is not strong enough or capable enough to channel that? It's like you hit all these resistance, or the spirit just doesn't come through because the matter hasn't been tilled. The soil has not been tilled to receive. It's like the light wants to come in, but it just bounces off. The matter is too dense. It needs to be worked with, right? So that's why I'm prioritizing this process of working the body so that the mind can come in and enlighten my life, which has been stuck in a certain range of quality and abundance because of these patterns in the biology that are just based on what the body has gotten used to. Some of it's genetic or epigenetic, but very genetically influenced, and now it's time to do something different. And I've just been for the last year, like now the defenses are coming down. I've been for the last year just trying to get there, but not quite getting there. I started with a therapist. I wasn't able to keep up with that. I just felt like I couldn't afford it. And I've just been stuck. Not even stuck. I've been going, it's like I've been stuck and just sinking. Like this weight of like value that just is not being expressed. It's like, oh my God, like, so yeah, it's, I don't even feel it's sad. It's just like I feel the sadness knocking at the door, but it's like I can't allow myself to feel that. Or maybe I won't, but that's the value, the lost value, right? So that's why it's like, all right, we've got to do something, make the body, break the cycle through the body. The mind, it's in the mind too. It's like the mind has to be strong enough to like be proactive enough to like not have to suffer, to make a difference before, it's like, is it desperation or inspiration? And I've so far been falling back on desperation, even though I've seen ahead of time, this is what I need to do. It's just like I haven't, for whatever reason, I blame the lack of this accountability structure that I haven't put enough energy into building, and like just a lot of challenges. Maybe it's like I haven't asked. haven't fought for the help that I've needed to really get where I need to go. That because I didn't want to burden people, I didn't want to burden my parents. God, don't get me into talking about my dad. It's like every time I need something small, it's like he doesn't want to help. Or it's like every time I need help, he'll like offer something, but it's not like quite what I need. And as I waste all my energy trying to communicate, here's what I need. And by the time I'm exhausted, it's like, all right, now I'm miserable and I don't have any energy to like pursue that support that I genuinely needed. So it's just, yeah, I don't know if this resonates with anyone who's listening, but yeah, that's my story. Again, I'm filming this because I feel like this is my support. And you guys who are listening, I know, right now I have like 0 subscribers, some views on my shorts. I made this channel specifically because I didn't want all my other subscribers on my main channel to, this is my private life. I want it to be discovered eventually. I want it to be all open and out there, but it's like I'm almost like creating a separation. This is for me. And maybe it'll end up being for others, but it's really for me to be vulnerable, to be honest, and put myself out there and create accountability that I've been missing for years, that I know I've needed, and it's just been missing for years. And it's depressing because everything has fallen apart that I cared about and I wanted to preserve. And maybe it's because I haven't learned to love myself. And it sounds so cliche, and it's true. And it's like for someone like me, broader shoulders than hips, smaller hips, we call this sanguine temperament. The tendency is to be outwardly focused, worried about the outside. The energy just goes out. That's a biological reality. Energy goes out. So it's like, how do you bring it in? That's the work. And, I've been seeking partnership with people who are more inward because of that. But in some sense, that's incomplete. If I can master that process within, balance the temperament, then I have more freedom to work with and be with other people. And my attraction isn't based on my imbalanced temperament, but it's based on a more completed version of myself and a higher level of selectivity than these basic biological programs, which is very interesting now that I'm talking about how much is attraction based on these, opposing energies. There is some likeness. It's like, oh yeah, we have a balanced page, but also it's like your body has this strong thing that my body knows it needs, and vice versa. You're really closed off and you need to open up. Otherwise, that energy just gets trapped in the chest. So it's like, okay, that's one piece, but it's like you can work on that with someone else, or you can work on that through the lifestyle. But you got to do something, right? And it's not easy, it's challenging. So for me, that inward process, which sometimes feels like escapism, which on one level it is, but it's not, it's just like the basic requirement for having a body and nourishing it and not burning out. And so that's where I'm trying to find that, okay, this is what the body needs. And when I don't honor that, I lose a sense of value because my body cannot receive everything that my mind is connecting with on the spiritual realm. So it's like, on the one hand, I can pull back the mind and say, want less. But it's through the body that those boundaries become very apparent. Eating rhythmically, sleeping rhythmically. Oh my God, it's like I had such good vision at the beginning of the year, two years ago, and I just have not gotten there. Rhythmic movement. That's super important, right? And it's just like, yeah, it just feels off, wrong, you know. So anyways, I'm going to take care of myself. I have some external work that I'm hoping to get done. And then I have to go through a very challenging, rigorous hike process where I need to think about what to do with my housing situation since I haven't paid rent in now a month and a half, both on my clinic and on my house. And I've been so paralyzed, I haven't known what to do. I don't want to make, it's been so overwhelming, I haven't been able to make a decision, a damn decision.